Okay, doing another drive-through video of one of the interests of Southern Illinois, one of the sites of Southern Illinois. You got Dutchman Lake. So I just came off of 37 outside of Goreville and I turned down Dutchman Lake Road. And if you've got Waze or maps on your phone, I highly suggest you turn it on and type in Dutchman Lake, because I'll show you what. This is Dutchman Lake Road. And as you can see, there's no signs for Dutchman Lake. So if you don't have a GPS or you don't know where it's at, you pass it by. Very easy to pass it by. No signs whatsoever at all. And I know Dutchman Lake is part of Shawnee National Forest, but I don't know how far off each side is private property. I know there's trails down here. I know there's horse camps down here. I've hiked it. I hiked around Dutchman Lake. Took me 5 hours. And there was like 3 fingers of it that I didn't even make it to dry land. I had to cross over water on like logs that were over the water or just shallow enough where I could wade across. And it wore me out. It put me to the test. 5 hours of hiking around this lake. It's very deceiving. It's not a big, massive, main body lake. There's a lot of fingers to it, a lot of channels. So as I was hiking, I would check my phone when I got a signal, and I was like, am I ever going to get around this thing? I don't know how far back it is on this road, but it's gravel, and there's a buckaroo campsite down here. All it is just a pull-off. And I ran into a gentleman one night, Chris, and I can't remember his last name, but it was like, Armorall or Merrill or something like that. And very distinct name, and of course I can't remember it. And he had a big old Roddy with him, and he was just going to spend the night down here. No facilities or anything like that. So we started talking and had a lot of similar interests and everything. So I invited him back to the house, and me and Julie cooked us dinner, and he had the whole basement to himself, him and his dog. And Chris sent me, when he got back to Texas, he was coming back from Michigan and going back to Texas where he lived. He sent me a couple of bottles of Texas wine, local wines from down there, and I'm just thankful that I got to meet him and experience his company. And he sent me some wine. Really great guy. And I always have a motto in my life: if good things happen to me, I always try to pay it forward, and I always try to just see the good in people. I'm not saying there's good in everybody, but most people I encounter, there's good. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the windows down here, and you get your first glimpse. I bet we came back 3/4 mile. So you get your first. Okay, so there's a trail right there, and that goes down to a horse camp, and it's called Bed Springs Horse Camp. And there's the reason it's called that is because there's an old set of bed springs down there. I don't know who put them down there originally, but there's a set of bed springs down there. Alright, there's a boat launch at Dutchman Lake. Now, I don't think they stock the lake. And I don't know, I haven't heard of anybody catching anything humongous out of there. All I know is that it's open to the public. We got a few guys up here today, and I don't know if there's any tournaments here. I'm not a fisherman, so I'm not going to give you any fishing information or anything like that. Just not a fisherman. I would say these guys are either trailing it or bank fishing. Okay, there's your boat launch. It's all gravel. So, oh yeah, there's a couple boat trailers. There's a boat trailer. We got another trail right there. And that goes up to another horse camp. Now, I've found a lot of non-edible mushrooms down here. I found a lot of medicinal type mushrooms, just reishi, a lot of polypores that grow on the side of trees. Found a few edibles. It's overgrown right now, you know, the height of summer. So if you do a nice little fire area, pull off area. Okay. And then here's the Buckaroo area. This is the Buckaroo area. There's the nice little creek. Spillway right there. You got the levee. Got a few people out here enjoying the day. So, alright, I'm gonna park. Roll up my windows. And I am gonna take a walk to the top up here. How's it going? I'm just doing a little video here of the lake. I'm gonna post it on my Facebook site. All right, walk around out here. Got a nice little spillway. Now I've walked back in there and back in there and just, oh, it just goes on forever. I mean, I might have got on some private property. I don't know. Now I got shorts on. I should have wore pants today. Okay. Show you. I got shorts on. So we got some really tall grass here. And it looks like people have been taking some ATVs, UTVs off-road up here. And on one of the Southern Illinois sites, somebody posted whether they could do that or not, and they're not supposed to, but you know, people do what they want. Boy, this is a little incline up here. Ooh. Okay, so we're not to the top yet. That's where I just came from. That's my Dodge truck. Like I said, this is Dutchman Lake. You got a lot of horse camping out here. You can fish, you can hike. You're not supposed to be doing any off-roading, but as you can see, it looks like some people have it. Okay, so there we go. Dutchman Lake. We're on top of the levee. That goes back that way. It goes quite a ways back, and it fingers off a couple areas, and fingers off to the left, a couple fingers off to the right. A lot of old timber back there. I was back there mushrooming, and the wind was blowing, and they call them dead man trees or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. The tops will break out of the trees and fall. Okay, got a boater getting ready to go up to the dock, boat launch. As you can see, just a beautiful lake. I don't know what that is. A bunch of old timber. And the levee goes back to a horse trail. And I walked 5 hours to hike around this lake. Now you can't see how far back it goes there, but there's a couple of really long fingers back there. And it gets really steep back there. So just a beautiful, okay, flip around the other side here.
That hill, it wore me out. Uh, just a beautiful panorama of Dutchman Lake. And like I said, put it in your GPS because there's no sign out on the main road for Dutchman Lake. You come down Dutchman Lake Road, but there's no sign saying where the lake is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. Well, hike back downhill. It's easier going downhill than it is coming uphill. So y'all have a wonderful day.